This video is brought to you by the patrons over at Dandyland and viewers like you. Today, I'm going to be shopping my own vintage wardrobe for waistcoats. What's up, folks? My name is Dandy Wellington. I do videos on jazz, style, and culture, and as someone who is obsessed with the intricacies of classic dress or menswear, there is possibly no greater tool. There is no greater tool, no greater trick up your sleeve, no greater tool in a menswear arsenal than the waistcoat. Whether it's the third piece in a three-piece suit or an odd vest that serves as a standout for a staple outfit, this essential item of clothing can complete a classic look or elevate an elegant one. A waistcoat is an item that has strict rules in some circles and none in others, but is universally viewed as an essential piece of all classic wardrobes. In today's video, I'm gonna shop my own vintage wardrobe for waistcoats. I'm gonna break down some of my favorite styles, some design obsessions, and I'm gonna create a few looks that I know you'll love. But before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and hit the bell so you can get notifications. It really helps out the channel and lets YouTube know that you want to go along for the ride. Come on now. Now in this video, I'm gonna say waistcoats and vests interchangeably because they're interchangeable. They are the same thing. A vest is the American word for it, and waistcoats is the British one. Personally, I'm kind of down with the British one. Don't at me, bro. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, we've got to talk about a little bit of history before we get to the clothes. Waistcoats or vests have been a part of menswear wardrobes in some way, shape, or form for a long time. Whether they resemble the Jerkins of the 1600s or the Regency-style waistcoats seen in the show Bridgerton, they have always been a part of the classic men's wardrobe. You see waistcoats as part of a three-piece suit, which have the same fabric and pattern as the jacket and trousers, and odd vests, which are sold on their own and often worn with either suits or separates. The various styles of waistcoats were quite diverse and were made of all manner of fabrics and patterns for each season. From linen and gabardine waistcoats in shades of cream and tan for summer, to wool and corduroy waistcoats in navies and grays and browns for the winter months. Some styles were attributed to country living and others to the city. You ever see the phrase on menswear blogs, "no brown in town"? Well, that has to do with the style of suits and outfits for country living. Browns, greens, earth tones that were seen in the countryside rather than in the city. It's a frankly archaic rule that's an attempt to differentiate the styles and colors that are worn in the city and the country. However, in many traditional outfits, the waistcoat is an essential piece to complete the look. For instance, in white tie, the most formal level of dress, a white waistcoat is an essential piece to complete that outfit. But beyond this specific example, when styling a waistcoat, the sky is the limit, and the integration of this particular item into your wardrobe will multiply the combination of outfits that you can create exponentially. Before I continue, I just gotta do something for the YouTube algorithm. Bridgerton, 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 Bridgerton. It's trending. What can I say? Now, whether in person or on the internet, people always ask me, what was your first suit? What was your first hat? When did you decide to dress like this? So here's a first. This is my first waistcoat. I got this for my junior prom in high school. It's a vintage gold and black brocade waistcoat made by those two sisters, Polly and Esther. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's still a really great waistcoat, and I think it set me up for the wardrobe I have today. And speaking of wardrobe, let's go take a look at some of the waistcoats in my wardrobe. Alright, so this is my waistcoat collection. I have items in here that range from the teens all the way to the 80s. And that's fine because it's all about how I style it. It's all about how I put these things together and what I balance them with as far as modern clothes, different periods, and taking into consideration the cuts, the silhouettes, the designs of these pieces. That's what makes it work in wardrobes, right? That's what makes it work in outfits. It's a fair amount of things, but I'm gonna bring you through it one group at a time, show you some of my favorite details, and then we'll create some outfits. Let's go through it. And we're gonna start with corduroy. I have a group of corduroy waistcoats here. Amongst the first ones that I bought as an adult getting into menswear and really focusing on it, weirdly enough, for whatever reason, corduroy was where I went. And so I started off with this beautiful piece from Rugby. And if you don't know what Rugby is, a sub-brand of Ralph Lauren that was incredible. Beautiful designs, really well done. And so, of course, this was one of the pieces that I got from them. I also got a similar piece that is vintage, that is a navy corduroy waistcoat, which of course was very, very useful early on in the days. It's interesting, I don't wear corduroy waistcoats that much unless we're talking about this one. This one that I got from Bobby from Boston. Now, Bobby is a dealer that I mentioned in this video here, and he was the most prominent African-American vintage dealer in America. Unfortunately, he passed away, but his store still stands, and it's in Boston, so check it out. But I got this one from Bobby from Boston, as well as one other great piece, which I'll show you a little bit later. This one is so great. I love the fact that it's a horizontal weave on this waistcoat. So to have that beautiful detail, it was just so wonderful. I really loved it. And I also love that these button details look like little pies. It's adorable. Here's another little quilted business. So great. Another quilted sort of marigold waistcoat that I really like. These beautiful gold buttons. These are some of the corduroy ones that I have that I really, really love. It's good to have something like corduroy in the wardrobe because, of course, it's warm. But that texture, the texture of the corduroy, really provides an interesting visual up front when you're wearing it under a jacket. So I would really suggest if you are out there searching for waistcoats, see if you can get some corduroy. Now let's go to my winter weight things. We've got this beautiful workwear piece. When I'm trying to do something that may be a little bit more rugged, I've got this beautiful piece from Rugby. It's got these flat pockets, flat patch pockets, a herringbone, side adjusters. It's a nice hardy, you know, really good. So when you're shopping for vintage, you're basically trying to find as many gems as possible. Fill in aspects of your wardrobe, yes. Make sure that things work with your existing wardrobe and things that you love and are passionate about, but also finding gems. And I gotta say that sometimes those gems are from women's wear. So I have a few things here that are actually women's wear pieces. This waistcoat, double-breasted, which is probably 80s. It is women's, and I can tell that because it buttons the opposite way from men's waistcoats. But this houndstooth with, you know, the overcheck, it's great. It's great, and I wear it all the time. If something fits your style, why not wear it? No matter, you know, no matter who's whose gender the manufacturer or the designer made it for. Here's another one. This I wear all the time. All the time. It looks extremely bright right now, but of course you put it under something that's a bit more muted, that's pulling out more of the blues, more of the navy that's running through there, and all of a sudden it finds a way to balance it out. Also, it's got these really high lapels, so it creates a bit more of a sort of late teens, early 20s feel. And it's all about how you style it. Speaking of plaids, here's another beautiful plaid. This one's definitely vintage, which I really love. When you have a waistcoat involved, especially when it's part of a suit or was part of a suit, you have the opportunity to break up that three-piece suit and wear it in different ways. As I was saying, once you bring waistcoats into the picture, your combinations, the possible combinations for outfits multiplies. I have the waistcoat and the pants that match. So now I can wear any jacket I want over it. You can have a situation where you have the jacket and the waistcoat that match, and you can use odd trousers to finish up the look. So with that being my winter and wool stuff, let's go to summer. Now, summer is my favorite season of all. I mean, I'm born in the summer. I'm a summer baby. So I have a fair amount of summer weight waistcoats. Most of them are cream because I find that a cream or a white waistcoat is a great way to add a pop of brightness to an outfit and also find a way to break up but bring together different elements. I don't really have that many suits in my wardrobe, so I really rely on my waistcoats to do the work of bringing together separates. So let's get into the summer looks. But why? Why are you being so loud? New York. I love it. So we have this white piqué single-breasted waistcoat. It's actually a pretty high button stance, so it gets into that 20s, sometimes late teens look, which is great. Similarly, I have this one, which does about the same thing, but the thing that's different about it, of course, is it's patterned on the front, and so that provides its own unique look, having these little floral designs. I wouldn't consider this a full floral. We'll get to those a little bit later, but this is definitely one of my favorites. It's when I want to go 20s, or even sort of a Gilded Age look for the summertime, that's one of the ones that I use. I also have a few double-breasted cream waistcoats. This is one of them, and one that gives me a little bit of a pigeon breast. I love it. That's something that you see a lot in corsetry, but here it is in a waistcoat with this sort of built up front so that when you put it on, it really is showing off this sort of pigeon breast look. Now, when it comes to waistcoats, you always have that thing that you wear all the time. It's the workhorse in your wardrobe. And for me, it's this double-breasted cream waistcoat. I love it so much. So much. It's perfect. It is perfect. The overlap is perfect. The button stance is perfect. It creates this really beautiful V. That's like exactly what you want. I'm in the process of getting replicas made of it because it's perfect. And that's one of the great things about having a tailor. Now, I mentioned in my video about how to start vintage style in 2021 that having a tailor is key. And it is. Not just for alterations, but also when you want to replicate items in your wardrobe. Sometimes you find a perfect vintage item and you need to add more of it to your wardrobe in order to not break down the original, because you're just gonna wear it that much. So that's one of the things that I did with this particular waistcoat. I have another one made and I'll show that to you in just a little bit. This waistcoat is actually an evening waistcoat, but it's been over-dyed. I'll probably do a video on over-dyeing because I think it's a very fascinating process. But what it means is that I have this blue now. I have this bluish purple, almost periwinkle joy and happiness that is in my wardrobe. This shawl collar, low button stance, and it provides an interesting look to outfits in my summer wardrobe. A little bit more summer. Here's another one. Bit of Madras. Probably 80s. Do I love it? Yes. Another bit of gorgeousness. I don't wear this very often because, as you can see, it's ducks, but it looks like weed. I don't wear it very often, but I could to hunt. By the way, if you're getting value out of videos like this that go over the details and nuance of menswear, please subscribe, like the video, and hit the bell so you can get notifications. It really helps YouTube know that the video is valuable to you, and of course, it lets me know that I should do more videos like this. Thanks so much. Next, I'm gonna show you my floral waistcoats. Now, florals are among my favorite prints in menswear. I love them. I mean, personally, I'm a super fan when it comes to Liberty prints, all kinds of florals. And so I have a fair amount of florals in my wardrobe, and I'm gonna start off with this piece. This is a piece that was created by my tailor based on the cream waistcoat that I was talking about beforehand. And so all of a sudden now, I have this piece, this silhouette that I know I love in a floral that I can't get enough of. And so I really would recommend that you find a tailor that not only can help you with alterations if you can't do them yourself, but can help you replicate some of the pieces in your wardrobe that are just must-haves. Build your wardrobe out, not just by going out and buying if you can, but also by having somebody work with you to build them. Now, every once in a while, there is a piece that comes into my wardrobe that challenges me, that makes me think, wow, this is hitting on so many different levels. I almost can't imagine wearing it, but I have to get it because of that challenge. And it's this one. Did you need a couch? Did you need an outdoor scene couch? 'Cause we've got it. We've got a little outdoor scene that could be on a couch. That's amazing. This is incredible. I mean, we got dogs on here. We've got turkey. This guy's hunting over here. This guy's fishing. We got people canoeing. I mean, this is just outdoors magic. It's so good. Ah! I love this so much. Vintagey cotton. Beautiful. Now that we're done with that 80s magic, let's deal with something that's a little bit more classic. Brocade. Brocade waistcoats. When I'm going full Gilded Age, this is what I'm wearing. We've got this one. Beautiful, another shawl collar, these beautiful floral designs. I love this stripe that's happening on the inside. It's so great. And then, of course, you have this business. This purple and silver gorgeousness. It's so great. So when I'm doing a Gilded Age look, or I'm trying to sort of dress up something that might be a bit more of a lounge suit or whatnot, I'll do something like this. So those are my florals. And florals, in my opinion, are a great addition to any menswear wardrobe because they add a pop of pattern and color to any look. So get some florals. Now we're gonna move on to the biggest collection of items that I have in my waistcoat wardrobe. I'm talking about Tattersalls. Woo! I love Tattersall. Love my Tattersall. Ooh. It's the Tattersall dance. You don't know it? I love Tattersalls so much. And when searching for vintage, this was probably the thing I was most obsessed with. Any place that I went that there was vintage, I looked for Tattersall, and whenever I saw it, I gravitated to it immediately. It's like straw boaters for me. I have a lot of straw boaters because every time I saw one, I pretty much bought one. Now, some of you may be asking, what's a Tattersall? Well, it's a window pane pattern on a garment that has two separate colors of stripes. So this is a blue and brown Tattersall, and often it's laid out on a muted color background. So a cream, sometimes browns, sometimes even light greens, things like that. Looking at this, I already know that doing something with brown and something with blue would work. So this garment is actually guiding me as I'm trying to put together an outfit. It's great. It's sort of shorthand for styling. So this particular Tattersall waistcoat that I have, definitely pre-40s. I just love this pleated detail that's happening here over the pocket. It's in great condition. This was a great one. This is actually a newer piece that I have. And remember, I was speaking about Bobby from Boston? Here's another piece. This is a piece that I bought from him directly. This double-breasted Tattersall waistcoat. So heavy, such a heavy wool on the front. Really, really thick, just gorgeous. And speaking of tailors, when I got this, of course, it's very, very old. So I wore it maybe for 3 years, and it started to fall apart because I was wearing it a lot. So what did my tailor do? My tailor replaced the entire back. The entire back is a totally new fabric. Before it was just a cream, but my tailor made it a nice purple, which pulls in this purpley blue that's happening on the front of the garment. So this is why having a tailor is amazing. Or learning how to do it yourself. And here's another beauty. This just rainbow magic on top of this yellow. I love it so much. This is like a sage green with a forest green on top of it, as well as an orange in that Tattersall. The one thing I also love about this is the buttons. Half of what makes these items so beautiful is little things like that. Little things like the buttons. You know, if I was to put white buttons on this or brown buttons on this, it would almost be a totally different outfit that I would have to create around it. So yeah, this is one of my favorites. The final group that I have are waistcoats for evening or for semi-formal events. Check these out. This is a great little piece with a bit of brocading on the front. I love it. This one's definitely for evening. Here's my small group of white waistcoats for evening. We've got this bad boy. Another piece that has great woven work on the front with these removable buttons. And here's a cotton PK that I recently just got, so it needs a little bit of repair. She's good. Here is my waistcoat for white tie, of which I need to get another one because when you wear white tie, generally as much as I like to, you need to have a few things going on. And now here are my gray double-breasted waistcoats that are used for morning dress or with stroller suits. This is the first one I got, and so of course, since it's the first one I got, it's a little bit beaten up because I wear it. I actually wear vintage. I wear it every day. It's got this great V shape. And look at these buttons. These buttons are just fabulous. That's a great one. And here's another one that is a lighter weight. So I often wear this one in the summertime. And the final piece, a totally different one, and only 4 buttons. I sort of love this detail on the bottom, which is great. So now that we've gone through these waistcoats, I think it's time to create some outfits. I asked my patrons which 2 types of waistcoats I should work with today, and they suggested Tattersall and Floral. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create 2 different kinds of looks with 1 waistcoat of each style. 2 looks for a Tattersall waistcoat and 2 looks for a Floral waistcoat. You ready? Let's go. There's a place that's world-renowned. It's a famous part of town. Mystery is its speciality. There's a crazy ballyhoo down on Lenox Avenue. Listen for it, you'll adore it. Fella, can't you hear the sound of? Don't you know I'm awfully proud of? Symphony of my hometown, Harlem rhythm. Play that beat and they'll come traveling. Trains from Boston, boats from Staten, getting on that iron horse. Harlem rhythm. Hop, step, two-step, you step, I step. Little coquette, shake, shake, shake. Body outta gather round, I'll tell you something. Life is great with music bumping. Get on down and listen for Harlem rhythm. Well, thanks so much for watching, and let me know in the comments below which outfit was your favorite. I want to give a shout out to my patrons. What's up, patrons? This video is made possible by you. If you want to become a part of our community, check out the link in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and hit that bell so you can get notifications. My name's Dandy Wellington, and I'll see you soon. Oh fella, can't you hear the sound of? Don't you know I'm awfully proud of? Symphony of my hometown. Get that Tattersalls dance. With stripes. Stripes. The Tattersalls. Yeah. All right. Okay.